Hi, I'm Dr. George Yancey. Let's share some paradigms. The paradigm I want to share today is they are so mean. There's something that happens a lot when you listen to what happens in our political world. What you'll hear is something akin to this. Those people are so evil, or so bad. And I don't want to do this, but I have to do this because they're so bad, they're mean, that yeah, I have to be mean back to them. You hear this again. You hear this from the Democrats and the Republicans. You know, the Republicans are so bad that, yeah, we have to, this may seem anti-democratic, but the Republicans are so anti-democratic, we have to do that. Or the Democrats are so dehumanizing, yeah, we have to dehumanize them a little bit because they're so dehumanizing. Here's all the time. They are so bad. They're so bad that, you know, they started it, we're ending it. Now, I will admit there are times where that you know, there's probably some truth to that in certain times, but usually it's not. Usually we're talking about a party being vicious. If you have to be vicious, usually you've been vicious too. And oftentimes this is used to justify mistreatment. It's used to justify suspending our values so we can go after them. And we're so confident. It's part of the sort of the partisan need to think that we're right all the time. So no matter what we do, we are in the right and they are in the wrong. And we must punish them because they are in the wrong. And so this becomes very disturbing. We tend to look at our political party with nuance. And theirs in black and white. What I mean by this is if someone's caught cheating on their wives and they're one of ours, we look at nuance. We say, okay, you know what, that's not the best thing, but we don't know all that happened in that relationship. It could have been her fault in some ways, that sort of thing. Oh ho ho, is on their party is caught cheating on their wives. This just shows just how immoral their party is. They're going to defend that person, even though he has mistreated his wife in this egregious manner. You can go issue after issue after issue. You can see that when it comes to our side, if something's wrong, and we can't say that it's not wrong, like adultery or some sort of really cruel comment, racism. We can't really say it's truly wrong. We look for nuance. So on their party, it's black and white. They're evil, we're good. And so this tendency to always see the other parties as vicious, it's not just something that, okay, you know, well, that's unpleasant. It has very real ramifications to how we treat people, how we outgroup them, how we dehumanize them, otherize them, when they're not part of our party. From my perspective, my own perspective, I see plain dehumanizing, degrading on both the left and the right. And I'm not in a position to say which one is worse. I'm not going to make a claim it's worse on the left or worse on the right. I know the partisans will make that claim, and that's fine. From what I've seen, I've seen it equally on the left and the right. I know it leads me to the charges of both sidesism. But really, you know, unless I see some sort of systematical analysis, because that's what we do as sociologists, I've not seen that. I'm going to say it's pretty bad on both sides. And even if it's just a little bit worse on their side, it's bad enough on your side that you should be talking about your side. Okay, before I move on, if you like this sort of analysis, please like this video. Consider liking this channel. Please leave a comment. Leave that both-sidism comment. Trust me, I've heard it before. But please leave a comment if you disagree or agree. Things like this help this channel to get out there, get traction, and hopefully have other people talking about how mean the other party is. You know, the Bible talks about this. The Bible talks about specks and logs, right? That you have a log in your eye, and you're trying to get the speck out of someone else's eye. Now, you may say, well, it is worse over there. But if you are doing it yourself, the log is what you control, not the speck. Let me repeat this. If you are part of dehumanizing those of the other party, even if they are dehumanizing you, and maybe a little bit worse, because I reject the notion that they're way worse. I've seen really bad dehumanizations on both sides. But if they're a little bit worse, you can control them. You can criticize them. And of course, they know that you're a part of the other party, so they're not going to listen to you. Because you have a vested interest in making them look really, really bad. But what you do have control over is what's over on your side of things. So your culpability becomes a log. Even if they're a little bit worse over there. It's a speck compared to what your culpability is. We can't change other people, especially those we disagree with and have no basis of thinking that we want their good. Have every reason to believe that we would gin up unfairly accusations if we had the chance. Because let's be honest, that's what often does happen. It becomes so easy to see their specks and ignore our logs. There's a saying in sociology called taking the mind of the other. And this is not the exact context, but I like the saying of itself, because sometimes what we do is we think about how we see things and we don't think about how others see things. So what if we humanize these accusations? In other words, if we're saying that they're dehumanizing to us, and they may well be, why? Could we be intellectually curious to think, why are they using such harsh language when it's unwarranted? Why are they going here or going there? Why are they talking in such a dehumanizing manner? Could we not do that rather than immediately jump to an attack mode of them? Would that not be the more godly way of approaching things? To look at where they're coming from. And perhaps if we do that and illustrate that we're trying to understand them, we might be able to address the speck in their eye. Because now we don't come across as, I'm here to attack you, no matter what you do. This is a way to go beyond just being partisan, even if you believe that your side is mostly right. It's just being partisan to find ways of working out solutions where we can all work together. Parsons should be concerned about critiquing their own side at least as much, and I think even more, than critiquing the other side. And when they critique the other side, I think, as a Christian, the way to approach it is to try to take the mind of the other, see where they're coming from, so that we can actually address them in ways that they can hear us. In that way, we can stop seeing them as merely dehumanizing us, but seeing them as image bearers, as what they truly are. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you do, please come back. We can shatter some more paradigms.